Now, listen, have you ever thought about putting down the gas pump and picking up an electric car charger instead? Electric vehicles are becoming more and more popular, so Steph did some digging to answer some frequently asked questions surrounding EVs. Let's take a look.
Today we have the Porsche Taycan and the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid and the Ford Mustang Mach-E. We kind of chose these cars because they represent a wide variety of the green cars that are available to Canadians right now. The Taycan and the RAV4 Hybrid actually won Auto Trader Awards this year for being the best cars in their segment, which is really exciting.
Not used to this luxury.
Charging stations are actually popping up everywhere. Like every day, more and more come up. Every major mall has one. Multiple actually, like big grocery stores have them. There's some free ones, like you can go to IKEA and they have free charging stations there. You can charge it at your house if you could, at your office. You can plug your electric car into like a regular wall socket, and those ones are really slow. So it could take, 3 days to get from 0 to 100. But you could also install like a level 2 charger in your garage. You have to have an electrician come in and do it, but it really speeds up that charging time so you can get from like 0 to 80 in just a couple hours. Cost of charging really varies depending on where you're going, and so the prices are kind of set by whoever set up that charging station. Sometimes they're expensive, sometimes they're cheap, sometimes they're free. In general, I've used all sorts of different ones, and to me, it's usually cheaper than gas per kilometer, which is awesome.
What are the similarities and differences between an electric vehicle and a fuel-powered vehicle?
The difference is that there's no gas in this electric car. It uses no gas at all, and you plug it in like you'd plug in your phone to charge.
Unless you have a hybrid.
The hybrid is a little bit different because it combines a gas engine and a bigger battery pack. And so they like to call it self-charging because that engine, that gas-powered engine, can drive the wheels and charge the battery.
Oh, wow.
This under the hood is actually a trunk because there's no engine under there. Yeah, so the battery is like underneath. So the front, it's just a little storage compartment.
Nice. In the long term, does it pay off to go electric?
It can take a while, and so like a lot of provinces have government incentives which help reduce the cost. Also, there's less maintenance to take care of, and so it does take a long time for you to recoup those costs back, but it is really nice not having to go to a gas station ever.
No pumping gas, huh? That might be enough to convince me to get an electric vehicle. Hey, Steph.
Oh, hey, Trace. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was saying as well. That's enough to convince me to get into an electric vehicle. And I did some test driving. And you know what? I also did some digging about electric vehicles as well. And what I found was that the first fully electric vehicle was actually created in 1890 in the United States. And in 1996, a more modern electric vehicle was made by General Motors. So it's like we've had these electric vehicles around for so long, but also not that long at all. Less than 30 years from the modern electric vehicle. So I did some test driving, I did some digging, and of course, what Jody said there about really saving costs on gas, never having to go to a gas station again, it's music to my ears.
Okay, now when you did your test drives, I know that you did a little bit of research on prices and other things. Tell us what you found.
Actually test drove the Porsche Taycan, and this car is honestly magic. Okay, it's a sports car. It's 4 doors. It has an 800-volt electric system, which is double that of any average electric vehicle. And this car, like, it's baby blue. It has my name written all over it. I've actually named her Roxy. Okay, so that's her name. And when I actually sat down in that car, the front seat actually moved forward, the steering wheel dropped into my hands, and I really felt like this was my sports car, okay? Nobody could talk to me. It goes really fast. It goes actually 0 to 100 in under 3 seconds. And this car, Porsche actually says that it's one of their cheaper cars, sitting at just over $119,000. So this car is gonna stay in my dreams.
Oh my gosh, it's going to stay in my dreams too. I'm sure there's some people in North America that are like, but I could almost buy a house with that. Beautiful, beautiful vehicle, but let's come back down to earth.
Gorgeous.
What about a more affordable electric vehicle, Steph?
Absolutely. So, I wanted to start high so that when I brought you back down, you could be like, you know what, I could get into one of these. So this is the Toyota RAV4, which is right here. It's actually a hybrid vehicle. So as Jody mentioned, it's both electric and it is fuel powered. So I know we said you never have to go to a gas station again, but with this one, you are going to have to go to the gas station to fuel up, just less often. When you drive this car at lower speeds, it actually switches between gas powered and electric, which is pretty great. This car, I would say, is, I would call it kind of like a family vehicle because it's really spacious inside. It sits at about the base price at about $32,000, so way less than the Porsche Taycan. And this vehicle, like I said, very spacious. The trunk space really extensive, so it's a really great vehicle all around.
Ooh, I love that. Okay, what was your third pick, Steph?
So my third pick was the Ford Mustang Mach-E. I talked to my fiance about this. He told me not to use this analogy, but I'm going to use it anyways because I do what I want. And it's basically like if a Ford Mustang had a baby with a Tesla. That would be the Ford Mustang Mach-E. It's such a beautiful, slick, sexy car. It's a little more expensive than the Toyota here, but it sits at about $50,000 at a base price. And that car, again, it's so spacious, it's so beautiful. And when you get inside of it, it has a really big screen in the center console. And that center console, you basically do everything from that console right there. So when I actually drove it, such a smooth drive. And all of these electric vehicles are really, really quiet. So when I was talking to you about the Porsche, you get into a sports car, you want people to see you and you want people to hear you, but with the electric Porsche, that's not the case.
I just love the fact that they're all very environmentally friendly, Steph. So if you had to pick one as your favorite, which are you going with?
I mean, come on, Tracy. I'm going to come over to the station. I'll be there in about 30 minutes. I'll pick you up in Roxy here.
Yes.
And we'll go for a little ride.
Roxy, hands down. Thank you, Steph. Oh,
Yeah.
my gosh. So good.